Welcome back, TV Spoilers. Hello, what are you looking forward to in the next episode of the Y&R storyline? Daniel finds evidence and tries everything to threaten Phyllis into revealing the secret between her and Lily. Lily's disappearance is no longer a vague void in the suffocating atmosphere of Genoa City, but a large crack clearly visible in the layers of power, loyalty, and relationships once built on trust and self-interest. At Chancellor-Winters, once considered a symbol of order, competence, and control, the atmosphere has become so heavy that everyone feels that just one more touch and everything will fall apart. Devon is the first to break free from that silence. His anxiety for Lily is no longer just ordinary suspicion or unease, but has turned into an almost obsessive tension, because the more he looks at the signs around him, the more things don't fit. Lily isn't the type to disappear without explanation. Lily was certainly not the type to shirk responsibility, leave things unfinished, and leave her closest loved ones guessing about her safety. It was this very feeling of unease that made Devon lose patience with any more vague explanations from Kane. The public questioning unfolded not only as an emotional outburst, but also as a declaration of war against all the cover-up secretly operating behind the scenes. Devon chose not to speak privately, not to save face for Kane, and certainly not to use the gentle approach often employed to avoid escalating the situation. He confronted Kane right there at Chancellor-Winters, where everyone could see, because for him the issue was no longer about politeness or reputation, but about Lily. Every question Devon asked carried the pressure of an older brother caught between the fear of losing a loved one and the anger of being manipulated. He only attacked Kane's actions, but also targeted the gaps in Kane's reaction, the inexplicable delays, the evasive expressions that could no longer be justified by embarrassment. The more Devon spoke, the more he revealed the truth. He had observed Kane closely, pieced together every small clue, and concluded that Kane knew more than he was admitting. Kane's reaction in that confrontation was a clear picture of someone pushed to the brink. He no longer maintained his usual composure, nor the confidence to erect a convincing facade. Panic emerged not in an immediate confession, but in hesitations, clumsy evasiveness, attempts to steer the conversation off topic, and above all, the look of someone constantly calculating between continuing to conceal or accepting that the secret he held had begun to rot. In that moment, Kane was not only afraid of Devon. What truly terrified him was that the wall of silence he'd been trying to maintain was being shattered from multiple sides at once. Devon was the one directly in front of him. But behind Devon lay the question of Lily, the consequences if the truth came out, the shadow of Victor, and all that Kane would lose if he made another wrong choice. What made the confrontation so intense wasn't just Devon's anger, but the fact that he spoke from a very real fear. Devon wasn't questioning like an opponent seeking victory, but like someone desperately trying to bring a truth to light before it was too late. That feeling made each of his criticisms carry an unyielding weight. He saw in Kane not just evasion, but the sign of someone involved in a cover-up that might have lasted far too long. Each clue to Lily's disappearance didn't reassure him. On the contrary, it only reinforced his belief that it wasn't a spontaneous disappearance. The more pieces he pieced together, the more he saw the hand of a plan. And when Kane faltered at those questions, Devon understood that the key was no longer doubt, but forcing Kane to confront what he was avoiding. The greatest tragedy of this passage lies in the fact that the truth about Lily, which should have been the source of everyone's collective resolution, was instead transformed into a tool of power and coercion. The more Devon worried about Lily, the more fiercely he confronted her. The more Kane learned about Lily, the more deeper he was drawn into silence. The more Phyllis understood the anger, the more trapped she became between speaking up or waiting for the right moment. And Victor, though not directly involved in the confession, was present as an invisible force, keeping everyone else on edge. This makes the story compelling not only because of the secrets it contains, but also because each character is forced to choose between conflicting values: family and power, loyalty and conscience, calmness and urgency, concealment and exposure. As clues to Lily's disappearance gradually emerge, the terrifying question is no longer where Lily is, but who is lying, who knew beforehand, and who will be the first to break the fragile balance. Devon initiates a public confrontation, turning suspicion into undeniable pressure. Kane breaks down with a confession to Phyllis, admitting that he knew more and was forced to remain silent by Victor. Phyllis has become a witness to a truth powerful enough to shatter family relationships. It's no longer about whether the secret will be revealed, but how it will be revealed, into whose hands it will fall, and what bigger collapse it will cause. Because once Devon realizes that Kane's silence is merely the surface of a deeper conspiracy involving Victor, the questioning at Chancellor-Winters will only be the opening salvo, and the real explosion of this war may begin the moment someone who thought they were protecting their family is called a traitor by that very family.